Kwenya, but so just share. Sebaya will be in share because I think today we are talking about leadership. And today I think the question I make say answer is very, very, very simple and no one that will be a dream over the years. You decide who say so here the continent Africa, you can't be you can't continent back over the potential to grow over all the resources, both natural and human, to succeed. Africa stand tall ahead of any other continent on the world. So the good question maybe someone say, identity and ye truly in terms of poverty, in terms of economy not ye nipa as at now, we see ourselves as slaves. Now ye to be and capitalize on this immense potential and resources are your ntimi mfa wae ho na mom other people come here, take advantage of the resources available here, and then they take it away to benefit their own people. That is the question at Yebebisa. Is it about leadership? And the question that Yebebisa says, "Oh my, our natural resources, everything, gold, diamond, whatever, is that enough to say yeah, well, all that it takes as a country to succeed?" So once I hear all these things, automatically, we have to succeed. So natural resources, having the potential, having the resources, then as a form of enough, because I'll be walking you through some of the African countries, and then nema yawo ankasa wa wunim se yakase Africa. Countries over the years, I envy Africa because they know that once Africa come together, you united in a common purpose and a common goal. Now you put your resources together, both natural and both human. We can conquer the world. So that has always been the plan. Says man will never come together. But Yansono on our own internally, individual countries, the resources that we have in abundance now always, countries envy. What are we doing? That is the conversation today. I think you better go through. And so most of the African countries are higher. Most of the natural resources are there. Countries there, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, Esroha. Some countries you free poverty because of the discovery of oil. Or etimi discover oil who said no. One of the anema bakwa ebetimi economic power. More certain leverage at the world table, negotiation discussions be a coswa obonsun their voices will be heard, no. They saw the need of betimi use and massive control over these resources. Sebeya ebetimi benefit or more and so most of the countries no more Middle East or mutu oil na. OPEC countries or produce oil no or more kasana tenasi determine oil prices award there. Your friend said the international market and they look at local circumstances and the kwanya price in a bit or more adjusted on I bet me a boy more near my or more yeah, no more set your price. The same thing over Africa. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire and the leading producers of cocoa are globally. Millionaire other chocolate who we are saying cocoa predominantly coming from Ghana and then coming from Cote d'Ivoire. So ask yourself, say, Argentina, you lose the leverage, you lose that particular power. Say, you set your prices for these commodity. Now, obi mum neti baby and or setting this particular price. The mines and cocoa no, you perceive a ton say. Now, you say your cocoa no, you perceive a ton say. But obi our oil. No, atimi attending around. It me setting a price. And me person me ton a barrel of crude at this price, and whether you like it or not, you will buy. That is the conversation we're going to have it today, and I think yeah, Kono, we will be exploring a number of these in some makers what these natural resources are. Over Africa, in terms of order, countries no more produce oil, no. Ubenya Nigeria. Nigeria oil or produce in a day, over millions in terms of barrel per day. Under what compare Ghana kwa they are growing a yedi. Nigeria produce oil ankasa. Oko Angola also produce the same your friend is saying amount of oil in larger quantities. Oko Oman to say Algeria, Libya, Egypt, then Ghana. So resources were countries in the Middle East discover and countries are in the past no more very poor. But don't forget, the Ottoman Empire ruled the Middle East for over 400 good years. The whole of the Middle East was under the Ottoman rule for over 400 years. After Second World War, almost for 400 good years. By the time they left, you could see clearly, say, now a minor, baby, I yes start here free a baby. But with the discovery of oil, few years after, and then we now YouTube now have videos about Saudi Arabia, Qatar, even just 15 years ago. Now how or motivate a massive transformation and now you begin to ask yourself, say, what is the magic behind some of these massive, your friend saying, mouth-watering transformation that these countries at near go through. These countries, through the oil now you use as a leverage, has been able to power their, your friend is saying, economy, to global prominence. Major critical decisions cause we are seeing now. Now when the again say a maybe bedru Amakata as a country, akasa may host World Cup. And that boxing and I born the United States in the UK then as a phenomenon. Organizers are happy to take it to Saudi Arabia, all because of say they've been able to use these resources as a potent tool to turn their lives around. And young African kids travel all the way to Middle East, and we comfortably sell ourselves to modern day slavery, all because and Nema or leaders who said they need to use these resources to give better lives to their people. No, yeah, no. Africa over oil, your friends saying deposits now all over Africa now. Countries any stake in this, your friends saying oil. Foreign companies rather come and we tell them, say, come exploit. Muntu, munye bibia, mubia, you give us a certain percentage. And those who negotiated this deal, in such a way, said the country, benefited. Rather, individuals will benefit. This is the reason why Yabaka us in Nigeria may produce over 1 million barrels of crude. But according to the Nigerian economy, the poverty level in Nigeria is so amazing because that is supposed to be the biggest economy in Africa. So ask yourself about the same, and most of them are even running to this country. But this is a giant economy blessed with the resources, about population, the largest in Africa globally. The top 10, Nigeria is there. So you see, they have the both natural and they have the human potential to succeed. But because of greed, that country is divided along religious and tribal lines. Because that is the easiest way you can hold the people, control them, and then have power over them forever. And to Nigeria, tribalism, regionalism, just a complete heterogeneous society, sharply divided. There are certain parts and then is there. So these things are by impactors for those who are in control to continue to dominate. That is very classic about the Nigerian situation. Our own country, Ghana, is the same thing. With the discovery of oil, go and check all the oil fields in Ghana. Could be a stake Ghana as a country, and how much we are getting. But elsewhere, people have been able to do it, and it's possible. other countries to me are making sure that they own the resources, they hire your friend say nema omuni for people to do it, because of course Saudi Arabia and for companies now more drilling then as for are major American companies that in the end they get paid. They don't own the resources. So you work for me, I pay you. Those who work on the oil rig are in the middle of the sea now. Everything goes on. No? These people are paid huge sums of money. Yes, we will pay you. In the end, the oil is ours. But in Africa, none of these countries and they only these sites. We comfortably give it out because we need cash immediately to satisfy our greed. So immediately now we sell without having a mind. Say, what can we do to turn our situation around? And so person what we are sick classical. We say recently I discover your friend is saying lithium. And in my previous conversation, I've been telling you that lithium is the new gold. And countries are doing all that they can to ensure, say, or make me and making good use of it, because the world is going green. I catch you say we are moving away from fossil energy to the offense saying the world is going green. And fossils now you're burning like crude and then as a phone, you know, the world is moving away. Electric cars never. And here and near my back what they are battery dinner it's me gina and nine so a lithium. And fortunately for us today, Ghana could discover lithium and now hallelujah. All we have to do is to use it to make to industrialize it at a larger scale, wider scale, to ensure say so if you partner with other countries to ensure say we set up a huge battery factory in this country, sign some partnership and agreement with some of these electric car manufacturing companies. In the end, we're going to do this thing here and we'll make sure that we supply you with all the battery you need. Yeah, yes, sir. You look at ton concession because you're buying a what power say I'm ton and Taman Chescan near. I buy for about the Babaton. And see a beer within a short period, you beton and make sure say Monfat Namamai 11%. Monfat Namamai 3%. 11%, you know, Nipana or ton or betrebias and chain or no, or budget 3%, or flat by no cotton few crana behind the scenes, you know, or be making sure our budget or Anyasa on farm mount. The company knows what they are getting, and you know, they will agree, give the country maybe 10%, and these individuals will get their 3% wherever they find themselves. So there is always enough motivation for these precious items that are a benefit to Obiano. And in the end, I have for no more these areas because they are so corrupt. Because I have be organ be a net or because the political class have found it quite convenient. Most of the chief will go across school them one Sibida. Obi Oha, you were saying this Sabi. We are saying they are living in Satiti. We are saying Jordan Onyaman a car wakuno. And there Obia or your friends a bicycle going to that all of a sudden they are tam long cruise at Yamano. Ain't the other can be on Fahon, he's not and a crew company for no being who of generation. It is about themselves, it's about their pocket and their family. And your hen knows but yes, someone tongue because when your friends a V8 moda air condition buffano when your money is crash at the bottom into a motor and fan. Now your finance are crying, now you're about media no man. The conversation, there are those who support it, there are those who are against it. We run around the issues. At the end of the day, na kwakwada, whenever Hosono, now you're now a cop, deal with your close, then we lose it. This has been the modus operandi over the years. Your gold, your diamond, your bauxite, manganese, your friend is saying, rosewood, and then I say for no mina, and then aqua ba do environment, and let galamsey, and they say environment because the same people are here, we are giving our concessions to them, and we are acting as proxies. And the resources now, other countries have proved say yes, you can turn it into something a bit in that kind of economy around because so we had Saudi Arabia 10 years ago, we had Saudi Arabia 15 years ago. We had Qatar about 20 years ago. We had your friend is saying most of the Middle East country, you know. Now where they are, how they've been able to position themselves and globally, you know, or more relevant because Saudi Arabia and anything in global affairs when it comes to human rights abuses and then so forth. But then because of the significant role of plenty, you know, and the global table not will be major decisions across the world. You can because on the supply oil, they can decide to cut down the supply of oil by 1 million barrel per annum. It will shake the space. So they have something. But my culture says you will never be respected in the global affairs if you have nothing to offer as a leverage. Any bargaining chip, any bargaining prowess, our table, no so the mention in the end when I may offer because the resources no major stake in these things ya turning the amount for you find it cheap at the core. So I know the day we've lost our leverage, we have no bargaining chip, we have no bargaining power to negotiate with anybody in any global discussion to be taken serious. Because you don't go to the table empty-handed and expect to be respected. Take that. And the oil now you want major companies from Bahabajin on your UK company and your American company, German company, one Netherlands company, and as a form, they've taken all these resources. In the end, the money ends there. Because if you look at some of these European countries, now share how they've been able to transform massively over time. Now, besides the resources bank and more and drive growth, no, you won't find any. France, for instance, over the years now rely on natural resources from Africa, including human resource. Because if you go to France today, because of the policy of assimilation, they were able to ship a lot of the energetic young Africans to go there, and then they. The French population largely a part of it are black because I look at the French national team. And you know, we have my culture say having the natural resources is not enough. So we are seeing natural resources in Yinana wouldn't nyansa. You won't nyansa ba and it's exactly what has happened to us. Especially when you are greedy, and we are greedy. Especially when one person wants to be in control forever and enslave others. That is who we are. And you know, we will conspire with the foreign interest and sell our own people to slavery. Don't forget that this thing is not happening today. It started here during the slavery time. And do person will understand now here. Say, men make mistake in case a net politician. No, and yes, sir, no. Abrofo has some more betonipa into slavery. Omunko rubi adam. Ena omunko enkwatete obi nkonkwachi ni wonwuram. Eye ya nkasa yenuanom ahemfo ena chichiro no ani nkrofo koton omo na oda kwaja hwehwe. Ahemfo na ochi ni nua no akoton no na oda kwaja watch na ebo no. Obitimi dada ni nua se kwaja me akira uduru ha abrofo no tete nwuram ho. So those conspiratorial way na those days they turn young kasa into modern day slavery say adwemone no eno an you're given an executive tag called politics and leadership in our part of the world, but the mentality is the same thing going on. Nothing has changed. And into na who sa DBS in a DBS and so until the younger generation who decide, they say, no, enough is enough. We need to do all that we can to break this curse. And that is what we need to do. And the resources, no matter about oil, we have it in abundance. So all kinds of countries are cassia way because yeah, you're producing a cassia Africa, hano. Ubenya Nigeria, Ubenya Angola, Ubenya Algeria, Ubenya Libya, Ubenya Egypt, Ubenya Ghana. These are major oil producers in Africa. Then you go to diamond. So Oko Botswana. Diamond is the most precious of all these things. These metals, you know. Botswana, South Africa, Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, Namibia. This precious way, was but go there and look at the life of the people there. Italy, Nisa Nema Webi. Spain, Nisa Nema Webi. Germany, Germany, of course, but look at the level of advances because leadership. Ya no yenye ya dwen se ye de nyansa ne nimde beka ho because whoever has power in Africa has the upper hand and has the advantage. Just sell everything to yourself, own everything, make sure say you possess everything, make sure you don't leave some behind for the other guy to come and possess so that he will challenge you in terms of power. Yes. And diamond, precious. So already the number of your friends and the amount of diamond I exited the shores of Africa, I'll go into Europe. And yeah, the kitwa. And the funny aspect of it, they say, so we're Africa, now we're Europe. Even in terms of land size, Africa is 3 times bigger than Europe. 3 times. Because Africa is 30.37 million square kilometer. Europe is 10.18. So it's 3 times bigger than Europe. In terms of population, in terms of youthful population, in terms of natural resources, in terms of human resources, in terms of potential, because when you have all these things, then you have upper hand in terms of potential. So ask yourself, what is the missing factor? Africa is still poor and we are getting nowhere. One thing. Just one thing. Leadership. Because elsewhere, I'm for prioritizing leadership as a serious business where intellectuals, intelligent people, very, you find saying people with dreams, with vision, with boldness to leave change, to make sure they make something out of nothing. People who are, I will not say they are selfless or they are not greedy. Everybody has that potential to be greedy. But you see, the passion is rooted in the welfare of the people just to make sure so you deliver what the people want. So you know you have to a certain extent deliver something. And you know there is always a motivation to do more. But in our part is totally different. Africa nina whoever say oh your leader no not really say mobo. Yes. Catch us my bomb brain, we have nothing to lose. And as a phone, me say Obi Ba, you know, catch us our bonnet brain, he has nothing to lose now, and into over whom or bar see that person as a joker. Because leadership is a serious business. That you are the foremost person seeking to lead. You must have everything to lose in an event, everything goes wrong. But if you have nothing to lose, the other such as killing our boy. And over the years, this is what we've been doing. Until people take the stage, they come, they harness not just the potential, but the potential of the people, but the potential of the country to make sure that they are able to satisfy their own quest for wealth. And they leave the people impoverished. Because I hear now have the resources. I mean, one of the most significant resources we are seeing OBHAC and why the Chinese consistently are hovering around the shores of Africa. One major, your friend is saying, resources and the country beer, especially the superpowers, so beer actually uranium. Uranium. And then all the nuclear arsenal now one of the major tools the uranium rod. And Africa is not just one country. Nigeria, they have uranium. Oko Oman to say Namibia, they have uranium. Oko South Africa, they have uranium, and several other countries. I am mentioning those in a larger quantity. There are others are more. These are resources that the power brokers in the global affairs, like the America, like China, like Russia, these are idea or money dear chile. Because once you lay hands on uranium, you can power your nuclear whatever to whatever level you want. So this is one of the most sought after resources. The superpowers are after it in Africa. We have it in abundance. But go to Namibia, go to Niger. Niger, the poverty rate is so striking and so nauseating. Sometimes you walk on the street of this country. When I'm about to say, Obi 18 years, Obi 15 years, Obi 30 years. He's from Niger. Most of them are from Niger. Our country, our these resources in abundance. A cracket to already 18 years. You expect Zen Kasamre or school. Komakacho say every single human being be our potential. So these young people you see, they are like your brothers. When you see them, don't see say Moabio. They are just like you, just that opportunity and incentive. And Obia take it from them. That makes them hopeless. And what travel all the way from Niger to this country and opinion so to talk now what can I say beside na cracket away or thought that the end of what beside that question? A ria kataban we no mona mu a pian na dia na last me koto obi and wo pian da dia na na ote dan chen ba bi ria na wada and wo bi na once na ne nine da form and ne nine no and am say on shem pabo ntin ne nine na ye kese I say e say na da form. Young person in Africa, because somebody want to be rich, take man and a wife, I could go US, or son and ma could go to more school. There's an amount there is okay. Because of that, somebody is suffering while leaving the country to come all the way to Ghana. When we see those people, we think they are a bunch of idiots. They are just like you. Coming from a country so rich in natural resources, so rich in human resources. There is one thing in young country, the country with the highest fertility rate in the whole world, Niger. Average woman be about 5 to 7 children. Niger, yes, that is the country with the highest fertility rate in the whole of the world. So such a country has rich potential, because my culture said, the richest of all the resources in the world, the most important is a human resource. When you have human resource in abundance, you have everything. And then the Europeans now could draw and say, we have everything. The human resource on so immigrants and and they are also strategically importing people to come in, to come and work. Because they are losing the numbers. Because and now Europe, unlike those days about 40 or 5 number, and then we are saying over 5 for their coin. People don't give birth to that way or back or me, will be or back or be. So the population, those who are the population is going into extinction because those dying, are not being replaced, and the economy will suffer. So you need to replace. America is doing the same strategy. We have the numbers. Niger has the numbers. Namibia has the numbers. Botswana has the numbers. Nigeria has the numbers. But Namibia with any master plan to say enough of the systemic, pervasive corruption. Let's say enough is enough and start looking around ourselves and say, our people have potential. Let's make sure, we harness this potential and make sure they get to where they're supposed to get to. That is the conversation that we need to have. But one man for himself, God for us all. Obia boko, obia any single opportunity, obia benya or the real that is the culture. And there's also radio now we see the media footballers or my bob to the Black Star level. OTD now respecting no. And that do na your friend is saying me connection maya or jiji among Fusika say yeah visa amount. Now what they it's funny. Because what too crying be paying what ding. These people take advantage of poor, vulnerable people. Me say at all levels, that is all we are. A here for sikasa me do kwa buchire. When on one kasa the pen paper send and the dean crown to me now I catch also do kwa buchire. And because most of the people are gullible, they fall for some of this nonsense. In the end, it could be a police station. They say America say such cases about 4 or 5 our police station they do a court. I so. Footballer or no, what the pen paper man and the dean crown to me no, but catch us say. Because we are both quite chilling to know for Sikamano, now also do Sikamano, so do Quabuchi. Now, embassy in the mamma at Tijuana, send a papa at Tijuana, I'll do to coin. Now, quite some and never quite sorry, them a place of refuge where people go to purge whatever problems that they have. And it is no longer a place yet preachy morals. No. Morals in your funny and your two das be money at what penny room. And if you go to the churches, it is no longer about preaching morals anymore. No. A magicians and your friends say magic and a miracle, and that is a church for you today. And a fertile avenue, yet they exploit a man for ye do a man for chrono, ye who no suru show mu. So when you are tight and I want you say our brabo, ye who fear a shaman for mu air ju musica, and the panel of Jessica and the yet sabi, near my open one once here. That is how the Yatwa Barman in the constituency near to me now, or non so no honorable, the only chef in the village. That is the culture, so it is everywhere. Call you mama HR no honor or by my salary and bad just a week and big a craman and yes I am. Why are we a controller or sick come or beings won't you just say a chain a rule so and I will say your friend is a one can I'm telling you it's a chain, it's a cancer that has eaten so deep into the fabrics of our society and nobody is willing to end it. And in the face of this, we cry for progress. Trust me, we are just joking. Because the society is sick. The media is so corrupt to the filth. So corrupt. Because and then look at the state of Ghana football for you. About 80% of sports journalists say one DGF in a chia, America and Jefferson amount. And munu name class sama yakoso no ombi na no kan bi da enti na usora no pa omo sports wo kroma say no ye wo GFA journalist wo ho e na ye wo omo nye GFA journalist enti issue no bad depending on how we stand there the aboro ya ho the real issue will never be addressed. That is who we are. So you see, sir, the corruption, the greed, everything is so systemic and so pervasive. And until we seek to address all these things, forget it. Me say, no progress will come nowhere. Nothing. Because now on a minute KSM, I have a conversation because I say Africa, the blueprint is the same thing. Make poverty a potent political tool. Use it as an instrument of control. Cow people into submission, cow them into subjugation. Once you're able to control them, they can never be independent-minded. Or you can only be independent-minded when you have economic freedom. If you don't have it, forget it. So the status quo as it is today, it benefited those who have upper hand today. And they'll continue to hang on to power. They hand the baton to their kids, the family, and because they are in the upper position, they've taken them abroad to go and have a taste of a better school than as a forum. So in their absence, these people, so a chain. Say nipa na hunyansa am break this chain. Hunyansa anka say enough is enough. Hunyansa anka say no, enough of this systemic pervasive corruption. We need to end the chain, break the chain. And yanka say taking matter into our own hands and make sure that we determine our fate. Trust me. It will be like this forever. Because if we go to Nkrumah days, in this time, most of the people you see in politics today, their parents were either ministers, prime minister, few people along the line are able to join the queue. So a dynasty and a building a disorder. And it is time we break the chain. But once we break it, the corruption will be broken. The greed will be broken. I want to take it all, I want to have it all, and I know it all will be broken. We got to do that now. We have to do it now, because it is now or never. It is now or never. So Africa has the potential. Trust me, no continent in the world and the world that potential as we have as Africans. But we are say, open slaves are a woman, and open slaves among Nyankopon creation, open the slaves are a woman, still the Africans, because those days, in term, was a Africa, Obia from Africa, from this green belt, with all the natural resources, everything what to succeed. We go to the Middle East, desert in Kwan, or the only thing people have there is because they have discovered oil, just oil, in larger quantities though, but just oil. Even land, they don't have it. We have everything. So a young lady in her 25 years, 18 years, 36 or whatever years will travel all the way to a Middle East. Okwa, so 5 years nobody know have 5 years in your shefie ompie. Now I'm told say binum yesa ensuo na ye de omo agum na ye de ensuo aka ho na otarabrosan ho na ohohoro abrosan ho. Enya Middle East anka benim say ye hohoro abrosan ho because ye ha abrosan ye fia ye popa. People who have been there and neka oh horrible sign ho tesa ye nyano ahomache we adwuma tseponko. Why? Because these people want to feed. Some are breadwinners. That is the modern day slavery. Maybe you just hear the stories online and I may call Middle East and say these omo go through sexual assault. Omo munyo muwo a yanka ho asem kora de yan chese nka bisa se nka Ghana ni obi ofri Ghana with all these things okoye den na ye tu kwan ko sa place way, but they have no other option. Oni krom kwabrane afa ne sika no de akoto V8 ne nasefo e dem e koba atobi ama ne girlfriend ato asesa de nebusuanfo nasefo $8 in school fees or mine sika no asesa de yesa ne money. A man for my bread. Sometimes you meet some of these young ladies and they tell you the ordeals they go through over there. Ghana ni na ordinary kono so aton. Hey, rather. Ghana ni na also oye agent na obo na mana ko into slavery no. Waton no agye ne sika. De e kono nim say yaton no agye sika. Ukoduru ha na be so san yaton wonti no sa 3 years no so ya 4 years no so ya untumi obi ko na 9 si abonten da for 3 good years. O se dem ye adwuma. We adwuma to say we. Yes, in papa you can meet good people who will, but the stories they tell us is nasty. That day we am far buying one do ya then. Na no want to obi ko gina say obeboa Ghana for mabuna momo to kwanya ko your friend say US because we live in the country here people think say traveling out of your country to go and live in another man's land no a incentive a leader can provide his people. Umodama, you will never stand on a political platform and make such a stupid comment. Individual, that's fine, that's fair. But I said to make it a policy option to promise as somebody seeking to take a position in government, telling people say you born no American embassy no information. That is how funny we are as people. So first, now man for baha bechichi a man for for slavery, but yeah, you turn your home because option be any ho. Don't force people who do that, and you're the fault. Because if you know where some people are coming from, the background, those who are without help, and a chromas will be no for free. So, and even young people of today, nobody want charity. Obia per se ordinance be no so earn something. That is why we've always been advocating, say, provide a job, provide opportunities. People will work, they will make their own money. Because young people are not beggars. They are not seeking for charity. Provide them with all the necessary incentives. But hey, no. So people are being forced to go into a modern day slavery in the Middle East. That I listened to a recent story of a lady also called Egypt. Senya ahochere and a nipa ni option. Why would somebody travel to Egypt or Copedian with Egypt? For economic life, Egypt. People travel there. And the harsh treatment and the conditions are a mighty through. Say a member they are too there, they are ready badges, so yeah. But when men get into some of these things, sometimes we know what we are getting into. So sometimes we are not scared. Sometimes say you tried a year. So your friend is saying that's a bit understandable. But for a lady, for a woman to risk it all, to go into such situation, and some microphone so mu treat you, me say ubenu ho. Lady American so could do ya na my dan on the ten fan passport no be see ye je ne ho ne ma nyina. Ana ya kana hye dem. Na ade akye abosan obapo every day bia ye clinic efi ho. Or you shoot to support because what told Ghana ni o.